Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Speak Plainly with me, your host, Owl Medicine. Today is a special episode because my birthday's coming up soon. And that's weird because I hate my birthday. Like, I really hate birthdays. Well, I like other people's birthdays. I like celebrating other folks and their birthdays and not mine. Always been that way. I hate it. Partially because it's December. And anybody else who is a December baby understands the struggle of being born in December and having Christmas run into your birthday. And already for me, coming from a poor family, we didn't have a ton of money to get Christmas stuff. So the holidays were always stressful anyway. And I wasn't the only December birthday in my family. I also have a baby sister who has a December birthday who's even closer to Christmas than I am. So we often actually had joint birthday parties where we would do them together, just me and my sister, and we'd get like a gift or two for our birthdays and then Christmas. And sometimes our birthday gifts and our Christmas gifts would be combined together because, like I said, that's what happens when you're poor and you grow up in the 90s. So I've never really had a great love of my birthday. The only birthday I actually remember with much accuracy of being an adolescent at all anyway, I had one birthday that I had one friend who came, my family came, some of my family came. By that I mean my grandparents. And my birthday consisted of me baking a cake. I like yellow cake, so I baked a yellow cake. And I got icing, and I icinged everyone's cake except for the part I was going to eat because I don't really like icing. And I baked a homemade yellow cake, and I decorated it all up, and I served it out to everybody, and I spent the entire birthday in my room with my one friend who came. And that was the most successful, happy birthday that I remember. So yeah, like I said, not my favorites. So what I've done since childhood with my birthdays is, well, I joined the military. And they don't give a shit about your birthday. They really don't. So I was more than happy to just continue working on my birthday. And I mean, I did that even in high school. I was working at an all-you-can-eat buffet and steakhouse and called Ponderosa, and the same thing happened every birthday and every holiday. Every Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter or whatever, I would always volunteer to work because I didn't want to do family things or any of the other stuff that I would have to do if I wasn't busy working, think about birthdays and what they mean and get all depressed. So I really hate birthdays. Always have. But my birthday's soon. It's happening in a couple of days. And I have decided I'm going to celebrate it this year. I'm going to celebrate it this year, not because I want to, but because I'm choosing to want to. It still feels weird. I still don't like it. But I know that the reason I am avoiding my birthday is because I don't like, this sounds very strange being the voice of a podcast, but I don't like all that attention on me. I like all the attention on what I know. I like all the attention on what I can perform. I like the attention on things about me. because there's things about me that I've done a really cool job of making awesome. But like like the you that is celebrated at birthdays does not that you is not the you that gets good grades. That you is not the you that asks for raises. That you is not the you that like works hard and gets notary for stuff. That you is just you, like the you that you were when you were a year old, the you that you were when you were 7, the you that you will be when you're 80. That's the you that's being celebrated. And that's a lot scarier to me because, well, and I think it's a lot scarier to everybody. And that's the reason I'm doing the podcast is I am friends with lots of folks who, like me, although I may be one of the more extreme ones, hate birthdays. I don't celebrate my birthday. I know other people celebrate like their birthday week, their birthday month. They're like, oh, it's my birthday month. I'm like, cool. And I love that. It makes me so happy for them. I love when other people celebrate their birthday month because then it's an opportunity for me to get to just celebrate with my friends. And that's awesome. But for some reason, that same logic doesn't extend to me. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't. That same logic doesn't extend to me, and me being the guy with the birthday and being able to just go, hey, it's my birthday, so I want to throw a party. You guys want a party? I love throwing parties. I love celebrating. I love hosting. I love all of those things. But for some reason, when my birthday comes around and that birthday or that party has anything to do with my birthday, suddenly I want nothing to do with it. I don't even know how old I am most of the time. That's how much I don't like birthdays is I don't know how old I am. It's really bizarre, but I have to count all of the time. And I try my best to purposefully kind of not remember my own birthday. So I've established that I hate my birthday. That's pretty obvious by now. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm basically doing like a live dig session with myself of why I don't like my birthday. So I've listed all of the situational reasons that I don't like celebrating my birthday. And excuses are valid, but they don't get results. That was one of my favorite articles I wrote, and it has been the article that has kicked my ass the most because it's just a constant like little catchphrase in the back of my head that constantly pushes me to do better. So I had to evaluate, why do I not like my birthday? There are lots of reasons for me to not like my birthday, but there's like there's a visceral like reaction that happens. There's a physiological response. I have a somatic experience when it comes to wanting to celebrate my birthday, or it just coming up soon and thinking about letting other people celebrate my birthday. Part of what happened is I have a very religious family. Had a very religious family. I was raised in a very religious family. Let's put it that way. My mother is no longer really religious. Still a Christian. My father is extremely religious. He's a classic Bible-thumping zealot. And I was raised with the Voice of the Martyrs. I don't know if any of you have any idea what Voice of the Martyrs is or was. I'm assuming still is. Basically, it's a missionary group that takes Bibles and missionary things to places in the world where Christianity is not the dominant religion and can therefore be persecuted, is the way they put it. And with his very religious bent, martyrdom was just, I mean, when you're raised a Christian, martyrdom is kind of that's the pinnacle of the best human. And fuck, that sucks. Like, you're raised to believe that the best human who ever existed was Jesus Christ, and it's because he was human, but he was also like the Lord and Savior, the Son of God, and the person who came to deliver the whole world from evil. That's a hell of a story. That's an origin story, like hardcore, you know? And when you're raised as like deeply entrenched in that as I was, like I wasn't like we went to church a couple of times a month. No, we were there Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and any other special event or Bible study that happened. I was at church at least 3 days a week when I was with my father. So that was a lot of church. It was a lot of steeping in this concept that the best version of a human being is a totally selfless martyr who definitely doesn't want to celebrate his own birthday. He's always busy being about his father's business, right? Being about his father's business, indeed. But I'm not Jesus. I'm not here to like deliver the world from the evils that I will bring upon the world if they don't love me enough. That's not my intent. My intent is to have a cool podcast show that people enjoy listening to and hopefully learn a few things. But this concept of the martyr, I think really, really affected me deeply, because I love it. I love being a martyr. I love it. It's really stupid, but I really do love it. It's a compulsion inside me that I recognize comes from this fundamentalist upbringing that I had, and as an astrology guy as well. It's the classic Cancer thing. I have a very strongly placed Cancer moon. I have a bent toward this martyrdom thing, and I think a lot of this fear of my birthday comes out of the martyrdom. But it's really dumb that I've wasted so much time. I've expended a lot of energy trying to avoid my birthday. Like, a lot of energy. I could have expended far less energy just by being like, yeah, sure, let's have a birthday. We'll have a birthday. It'll be an hour long, and then I'll go about my day. If I didn't care about my birthday, that's what I would do. If I genuinely didn't care, when somebody wanted to get me something for my birthday or asked me what it was or asked me how old I was, I would just tell them and move on, and that would be it. But that's not what happens. I do apparently care about my birthday. I care about it enough to put an obscene amount of energy into avoiding it. So this year, for my birthday and for Christmas, I've decided to celebrate the crap out of it. I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm a little broke and living in a small town, and it is COVID. So we'll see what I actually do. But the cool part about being me is it doesn't matter what I do. I'm going to have fun. It's really easy for me after years of practice to be able to just go, I'm choosing to enjoy this. I'm choosing to have fun, and I can do something very silly, very simple, very whatever. And so long as I go, I'm going to do this and it's going to be awesome and I'm going to have fun, I will do that, and I will find a way to enjoy it and have fun. So I'll probably go to the dollar store and like buy a few things from the Dollar Tree or something, wear a little like tiara or something. I have no idea, but I'll celebrate it and it'll be fun, because this avoidance is really just my own fear of vulnerability. That's what we're getting at. I've been beating around the bush because it's really uncomfortable, but that's the heart of the issue, is I don't feel like I deserve to be celebrated. I feel like my work can be celebrated. I feel like my creativity can be celebrated. I feel that my growth can be celebrated. But I have a really, really difficult time with me being celebrated. You know, when I view the world and I view how each of us all interact, I view us kind of walking around as people with this self-concept, and our self-concept bumps into somebody else's self-concept or into the environment, and there's a reaction that happens, and so, but your self-concept isn't the real you. You know, the self-concept that we have is comprised of, like, if you think about yourself as like a chessboard, our self-concept is formed from memory, and it's formed from the memory of all of the games that we've played that we remember, right? Because we don't remember each game that we've played. Maybe some part of us does, but we can't explicitly recall each of them. So our self-concept is kind of just an accumulation of memories. But our true self is much more like the chessboard. The true self is the observer. It's the one that gets to say, I notice that I'm having a reaction. It's the one that says, oh, you're doing this again. You see that? While you're in the middle of it. That's the Jesus people I grew up with would call that the still small voice. I believe that's the self. That's the true self. The true self is the conscious observer. It is more akin to the actual chessboard and chess pieces, which remember each game, but they're not really attached to the outcome. It's like it doesn't care whether black wins or white wins. It doesn't care. It's the chessboard. So that's how I feel about our self-concept, that's how I feel about our true self versus our self-concept. And it's really easy for me to celebrate certain aspects, but it's very difficult for me to celebrate the truest version of myself. And I think that comes from a very fundamentalist Christian home. And I don't think that this is going to solve my issue, right? Like, I don't think I'm just going to always be like, I love birthdays after this. But I do think I will like them a lot more because I made a decision to develop this underdeveloped part of me. I know that I deserve to be celebrated because I exist. That is a fundamental principle that I believe in this world, is that if you exist, you deserve to, period. Because you were born, you deserve to exist. And because of that, you deserve to be celebrated. If for no other reason, without being celebrated, we all become terrible people. If for no other reason than that alone, just to stop you and me from being a horrible person, we should be celebrated once in a while. Because we need psychological safety. We need to feel celebrated. We need to feel loved and held and a part of something bigger than ourselves, because we are mammals. That's what we do. We survive through socializing. We thrive. We have taken over the planet through socializing. So we depend on each other, and allowing each other to celebrate each other is a really great way to do that. I've always been very wary about allowing anyone to celebrate my birthday. So this year's going to be different. Like I said, I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree and do some stuff like that. There is a little winter village ice skating thing, and I'm excited to go check that out. I know it's going to be tiny, and it's still COVID, so it's clearly a masked event and all of that, and that's totally fine. It's something to do. It's a way for me to celebrate myself. Even like I'm not trying to throw a giant, massive party. I'm just focused on going. Today is about me, not about my accomplishments, not about my work, not about the podcast or the book or the articles or any of the things that I've been doing and working hard and find value in. It's weird and uncomfortable, but it's about celebrating me. And that's pretty cool. So if anybody listening to this has a hard time celebrating yourself or any of this sounds familiar, then I'm sorry. And you're welcome for the commiseration, I suppose. My mother, when my mother had a sticker on her door at my grandma's house, and it stayed there through a lot of my childhood, and it was one of those early cartoons, and I can't remember the name of it, the name of the cartoon itself, but it had a little guy with a little droopy nose sitting under a cloud with it raining over him, and it said, "Misery loves company." And it's really true. Misery does love company. And so especially if you're a December baby and you were forced to share birthdays and get reduced presents and all of these things that are perfectly valid reasons for us to not really want to celebrate our birthdays, right? Because it's expensive. There's already a bunch of stuff happening in December. For me, I had a baby sister who had a birthday even closer to Christmas, and we come from a poor family, so wanting to celebrate our birthdays in a big way was just not possible. And as the middle child that I was always trying to negotiate for the family. That's what the middle child does. I was always trying to negotiate everything for the whole family and doing my best to not have any needs, because that was the best way I could prevent things from going bad or having a blow up or whatever. So I learned to just not have needs, and celebrating my birthday may not be a need, but learning to appreciate the conscious agent. And I really appreciate my conscious agent. That's why this is so weird, right? I love and appreciate this part of me that is the conscious observer, that provides the separation between me and my sometimes absolutely ridiculous reactions to things. Sometimes something will happen and it can dysregulate me in a way that throws me way off. It doesn't happen much anymore, but it does happen. And when it does happen, that conscious observer that's my ticket. That's my ticket to being fine. That's my ticket to going, oh, okay, this isn't going very well, and I can just notice that and let it happen and not react to my reactions and just go, So I love my conscious observer and I celebrate my conscious observer, but for some reason, a birthday is still so personal. And if you have any idea why birthdays feel so incredibly personal, obviously they're celebrating you, but there seems to be something even more core, I suppose it would be a good word, more fundamental, more foundational, more spiritual and individual about birthdays and celebrating them. So anyway, this is my birthday podcast. It is coming up real soon for me, and I'm actually going to celebrate this year. And I'm going to celebrate Christmas real big this year, too. By real big, I mean, like, I'm doing all the decorations, and I know I'm a little bit late, but I just moved into an apartment 2 months ago, and that makes all this much harder because I used the last of my savings to move into an apartment just so I could finish the book and do a podcast and have a steady place to do all of my writing. So I'm flat broke, and it's not fun to try to like buy Christmas presents for yourself and for other people and birthday presents, and you're flat broke because you just moved into an apartment and you just got decorations and now you got to get decorations for Christmas. Moving into an apartment in October, at the end of October, is very, very difficult. I guess into September. It's not great for the holidays. So if anybody's thinking about that, maybe wait. Maybe wait till after the holidays. That way you don't have to have a very sad, decorationless holiday. But I've decided I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care. So this is what I have to say about your birthdays and your birthday celebrations. If any of you are like me and you avoid celebrating your birthdays, just understand that it's a fear. That's not something to be proud of. It doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make you cooler. It doesn't do any of the stupid crap that I wanted to believe that it does. It really is just an example of being afraid to show your true self. And I don't want to do that. I like showing my true self. And I've liked showing my true self for a little while. But this habit of ignoring birthdays has been around. And habits are hard to break. Even if the habit that they stem from, which is kind of hiding my true self, even if that habit is gone, the habit of avoiding birthdays is still there. So that's really kind of what I wanted to say, is just that this is an uphill battle. It's always an uphill battle. The self-growth thing, the self-awareness thing, there's always a new level. There's always a new achievement to unlock. And this is what it looks like for me, at least right here today. So celebrate yourself. Celebrate your birthdays. I'm gonna, and it's gonna be an absolutely marvelous time. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this episode. I hope that you got something out of this little exploration into my own resistance for celebrating myself via my birthdays. Stay blessed, y'all.